Tell me when you're ready. Come on.
Yeah, just setting the camera up. It's not filming, just, yeah, do what you got to do, yeah. Just focus. What are you doing?
I'm warming up, man. You got to just get the vocal.
No rhythm.
What? Are you mad? I'll dance your ass, man.
You got no rhythm.
I'm on it today. I had a shower and everything.
You had a shower?
Smell it.
Musty.
Sexual musty.
Johnny Nelson.
Are we on?
What?
We're on now? All right.
Are we on?
Put that first stupid
No, I'm not. No.
Don't be child.
No. I am child.
Why
How
you
are
on
you,
your
man?
t-shirt?
What?
Why you on your t-shirt?
Iron it. I
Yes.
did iron it. It's the crease look. Cool. You don't iron your clothes
MTK
anyway.
Global, go on.
Yeah,
Why
man.
can't I have one of them? I would wear one.
You could have one.
Bring it on.
We do it extra tight.
But that's...
Johnny, what's going on, mate?
What's up, Jig?
I mean, what's going on?
Talk to me. Throw anything at me.
Just
Come
going on, man.
Well, that's good. Summer's coming.
All right, let's be honest, yeah? Straight, shoot from the hip.
Yeah?
It's nothing to do with this card.
Yeah?
In your heart of hearts,
Yeah?
will Joshua put it right in the rematch?
In my heart of hearts, yes. And I'm not just saying that. I'm not just saying that because I'm a fanboy. Because I am a fan.
You are a fanboy.
Oh, no, but no. I'm
Sky
telling you,
spokesman.
dreadlocks. I'm telling you. I don't care what you say. This will be. Most people inside boxing think he's never gonna turn it back. Ruiz has got his number. Trust me. Look at what AJ's doing now. Look at how he's training now. Look at how he's prepping now. I know he's in Nigeria, but what I'm saying is, a few weeks ago we seen him in the gym. He's working on technique. He's working on movement. He knows he now has something to aim for. Now, when all of a sudden you become a wealthy individual that wants for nothing, when you become champion, what happens is your hunger changes. You're the hunted instead of the hunter. So your hunger changes. Ruiz, from day one of Anthony Joshua winning the world title, I've been looking at Anthony Joshua thinking, this how I'll beat this guy, this how I'll beat this guy, this how I'll beat this guy. Ruiz steps in 5 weeks' notice. Anthony Joshua's thinking he'll be like anybody else, I can just get that done. He was talking about having Ortiz as a stand-in. I thought you've got to prepare for them. Even looking at Ruiz, he's got to prepare for them. He made a fundamental mistake of picking somebody at last minute notice. He got away the first time with Takan, a stand-in. He got away. So Ruiz came along. We thought we'll have him. Soft touch. It's hard to keep your hunger. You're up there because you think I've got something else coming in. He didn't prep for him. He's now preparing for Ruiz. Let's see how hungry he is. Let's see how rough around the edge he is. Let's just see how much of a change there is in this Anthony Joshua that boxed Ruiz the last time and the Anthony Joshua that boxes him in November.
Adam Smith said yesterday that it's kind of a weird phrase he used. He said, I'm quite confident, but not very.
That's like saying I'm half pregnant. It's like saying I'm half pregnant.
Are you and your missus having a baby? Congratulations. Yeah, I didn't really get that. I might ask him. There he is. Come here. Let's actually ask him. 'Cause I didn't really understand it.
Adam's like a politician.
I know he is. Adam.
And I must admit, I'm upset because these days now he's looking. Look what he's got on.
How are you?
Dapper.
How are you? Wimbledon's finished.
I'm gonna say, I like that look. Semi casual.
You right?
Damn. Yeah, I'm good.
Coco.
Coco who?
Coco.
Coco.
Yeah, Coco.
Unbelievable.
And he's 15 years old.
Oh, well done.
Bam!
Oh, mate.
See about Rory McIlroy? Quadruple bogey on the first hole of the Open. Do you know what that means?
Yeah, got a hole in one.
Anyway, we brought you over.
Terrible start from Rory. Big boxing fan, Rory.
He is. He
Massive
follows me on
boxing
Instagram, actually, Rory.
Really?
Big boxing
Yeah,
fan.
mate.
Big boxing. Is that
He
a nightmare?
really-
He
Port
follows
Rush
you.
this morning?
Why?
Yeah, follows me on Instagram. True.
Is that a nightmare?
Adam,
Hello.
so you said yesterday,
Yeah.
quote Adam Smith.
I don't think you remember what I said.
I
Because
know.
You were saying, did I say a quiet
no, hold
or a
on.
very?
No, you
That's what I
said.
heard from over there.
I said, how confident are you that Joshua beats Ruiz in the rematch? And you said, quite confident, but not very. That is what he said. Check the tapes, man.
Okay.
What does that mean?
Just pretend you got an
Just be honest.
Do I think he wins the fight? I don't know.
There we go.
I think that he can win it if he. I mean, listen. At the end of the day, the first time around, he got everything wrong. He fought on the back foot. He didn't take centre ring. We watched an interview back in the dressing room that Andy had done with him before the fight that said he had to take centre ring in this fight. That's exactly what he needed to do. Get the jab going. back up a little guy coming forward. He let Ruiz get confidence the first couple of rounds, and obviously never really recovered from the third. But can he win the fight? Yes, he can win the rematch if he uses physical attributes, if he uses his jab, if he boxes the way he did against Joseph Parker. I think he can win the rematch. Point I was making yesterday was that a lot of immediate rematches often go the same way. If you look back through history, you see Tyson and Holyfield, you see Steve Collins, both times when he fought Chris Eubank and Nigel Benn, both rematches went the same way, and they went slightly more conclusively as well. David Price, when he fought Tony Thompson, straight back in with him, it happened again. So, David Haye and Tony Bellew. So you look at that and you slightly worry, but at the same time, if Joshua knows that he got it wrong and that it was a sort of freakish result, it didn't look a freakish result to me, and I don't think to anyone else.
I'll put something out there.
Because hang on a minute, because it was after the third round, very one-sided, and he was brave to stay in there, but ultimately Andy Ruiz was better than him that night, and I'm sure he will have the confidence. He had a 5-week training camp for that fight, albeit he fought Dimitrenko. He'll have a proper training camp for this. So I think Ruiz has got a real chance. However, if it's in the UK, that swings the balance, in my opinion, back towards Joshua.
Why? I'll throw it out. I don't know if I'm allowed to do this, if it's legal or not. I put £1,000 on that Anthony Joshua wins.
What do you mean you don't know if that's legal or not?
Come on, I mean I'm allowed to bet one of your whatevers. Hook me up, come on, talk to me. I'm telling you now, Anthony Joshua gets
so you're
That's
convinced, you're convinced, and Adam's not sure,
like
which is fair enough.
No, KUGAN, I think he can win the fight, and obviously the expectation, I'm sure he's a betting favourite, and I'm sure he will go in, and most people will think he will win the rematch. I'm just saying that through history, and also through the fact that he's got to use his physical advantages a lot better than he did in the Garden, it's not a gimme. It's no way a gimme. You can't say it is, because Andy Ruiz beat him once, and I'm sure he's confident enough to go and do it again. That's why it's so compelling, the rematch. What do you think, Coog?
Well, I mean,
I know what you think. You're not sure.
If I'm being honest, no, I'm not sure. I'm with Adam. I'm not sure.
I'm 1,000% sure.
1,000% sure that Joshua wins the rematch.
In my head,
Spencer, are you 1,000% sure that Joshua wins the rematch? No.
Well, come in and join the debate. But in my head, I can see that situation where he puts it right, but also
1,000% sure that Joshua wins the rematch.
No, you can't be 1,000% sure on that. But
just remember,
the history of rematches,
this
majority of them go the same way. And listen, we're all Joshua fans, and you might be speaking with your heart there,
I'm
my
not
man.
speaking
we are
with my
all
heart.
Joshua
reality
fans.
is-
We want Joshua.
We all
Of course
want
we do.
Joshua
He's an
to win.
ambassador
Of
for
course
the giant.
it is.
It'd be great to see Joshua win and get his titles back, and
All right
obviously
then,
go into
okay.
the big fights. What the question is, will he win the fight? And our answer is, we're not sure. Your answer is 1,000%.
And shall I tell you why?
I don't know what you're talking
I'll tell you
about.
why, because that...
1,000. Let's bring David in. 1,000%.
What are we talking
that
about?
AJ wins the rematch with Ruiz. 1,000%.
He's saying 1,000%.
Yes.
All right, so a couple
we're
things.
saying we're not sure, and that's not a dig at Joshua or anything.
no, no
That's
one's
saying
sure.
We're not sure.
Let me tell you this.
Sure. He's sure. 1,000%.
He's lost the plot.
Go on, Adam. Go on, Adam.
Check it out.
Working together.
25
years. 25
He's gone.
years.
He's gone.
You still not know what you're talking about.
See what you've done. See what you've done.
Let me say something I think is very
Please
important.
bet Ruiz, because your history of picking fights ain't great.
Right, no
Please
problem.
pick Ruiz.
I'm gonna be like, what's it, Nostradamus when this comes out, and everybody's gonna say.
We
it
hope
is
so.
a-
Listen, and it's
Listen,
a good
it's not
possibility
about-
what you're saying is
absolutely.
true.
Of course,
Good
it's a real
possibility.
possibility that Joshua wins the
100%.
rematch, but 1,000 or even 100%.
I think it's 1,000% or 100% that he can win. The question is, will he? We don't know, and he doesn't know until we go in there. But let me say this.
guy knows what he's
because
talking
Can
let
win
me
is
say
not
this.
the same as will win.
Yo,
Let me
Coog,
just
check
put
this
that
out. This is very important. I've never heard anyone say this. This is
Get off the
important.
phone.
Let's bring this to the NBA for a second. You guys ever heard of Jeremy Lin?
No.
Well, let me tell you, he was the
from boxing. And obviously he doesn't know much about that either.
He was the point guard. He was the backup point guard for the Knicks. He came on. Not a lot of people knew who he was, and he just diced motherfuckers. Sorry, he diced everyone.
Don't apologize.
He was incredible. Okay, and he actually, my team birthed him. He played the Nets in his breakout game. I mean, he destroyed us. We didn't know which way he was going. It was like, oh my God! And this guy went on a tear. He was the biggest thing. He was everywhere. He was the rage. But check this out. What happens when you're a guy like Ruiz that people don't really understand what you're doing because you're not really on anyone's radar. They don't scout you. We got guys in the NBA, they're called video guys. They're not like Cougs. What they do, they take video, but they study every single play. They watch every single, hold on. They watch every single thing. So now, Ruiz is on everybody's radar.
hallelujah,
So now
hallelujah.
they're studying him,
Listen to
they're
that.
watching him.
You
So,
have it out there,
but
sir.
check this out. There's the other variable is the fact that when you win a title, you become 5, 10, 15, 20% better because you know you belong. You know you belong there. So he's going to be a better fighter.
See what you've done.
But,
See what you've done.
But the scouting on Ruiz will be a lot better.
Bam!
And if
My
AJ,
point
but
is
hold on,
that
hold on.
wasn't your
Hold on,
point
let me
at
finish,
all.
let me finish.
Why are you stepping on his point?
If AJ fights tall, yeah, he wins easy. He should have won the first one. He got caught in that.
He didn't take center
in that
ring,
exchange.
and he didn't utilize his jab, and all the body shots, David, and the uppercuts that I saw him use in sparring in Sheffield with Martin Bacoli and Gregory Corbin. He didn't use anything like
And
that.
my
He went on the
point
back
is-
foot.
and my point
So
is-
he can win the fight. Of course he
but
can.
let me just finish up, 'cause I really
1,000%.
think-
1,000%.
1,000% he can.
No,
Well, is it 1,000% that he will?
Hold on,
No one
can
knows
and
that.
will
No
are
one
two
knows until
different
AJ.
things.
No one knows until AJ and Ruiz, because those are the only guys that are going to figure that out.
1,000% you never beat
Listen,
Carlos
and
de
you know,
Leon.
if
You
I-
didn't do it.
Check it out. This, I think the big. I think the big.
I will do
I
an
think the
interview with
big.
you
The
in my
big.
budgie smuggler speedos, the yellow one. If I am wrong,
What
If
will you
Anthony
do?
If Andrew Joshua doesn't win, I will do an interview with you, study it in my yellow
No,
budgie smugglers.
naked.
No, man, can't do that. Oh, that's too much.
No, but
That's too much.
actually,
This just
you
went
would
left.
enjoy
Cut me out of
doing
this
that
video.
interview in your
Exactly.
own
Check it out.
voice
Check it out.
anyway.
This is important though.
Cardiff in midwinter.
Yeah, in Cardiff, midwinter.
Outside in the middle of the pitch.
AJ needs to work on his wind. By the third round, he looked gassed. That's a problem. I know everyone's talking about he's really jacked up. Muscles take a lot of lactic.
I love this guy.
And so Ruiz has an engine.
double chest,
Ruiz
don't
can
get
fight. Ruiz is going to be there. He's got a beard. He's got a chin. People, it's funny. I said he's got a beard. That's a way of saying he's got a set of whiskers. He's got a good chin. He can take a punch. People were like, "What does him having a beard have to do with anything?" It means, for boxing fans out there from the UK, it means having a chin. He's got a beard. The guy can take a punch. We saw that because when he took AJ's first punch, that big one that took him down, he went down, but he was not hurt. You could see in his eyes. I was ringside. We were right there. It knocked the force. It was a powerful punch. He sat there and he thought to himself like, "Damn it, I got caught." But he got up and he went for it. But this time he was ready for that punch because he had felt the worst. I think that punch emboldened him.
Yeah,
it was the same with Jacobs and Triple G. When Triple G put down Jacobs, he wasn't hurt. It was a knockdown, but he wasn't hurt. He came up and he won the second half of that fight. And so I think he came back and he was ready to go. And in that fusilage of punches,
So
AJ hit him
listen,
twice,
we say
and it didn't hurt him.
AJ can win the fight.
Yes.
With the jab,
Yes.
with using his physical attributes, I totally agree. Look at the Joseph Parker fight, absolutely 100%. What we're not looking at, Johnny, is Andy Ruiz. So Andy Ruiz hurt him with the temple shot that he never really recovered from. You don't think Andy Ruiz is going to be confident that at some point in the early rounds he's going to hit him
Go
again?
back to my point. Andy Ruiz has spent every single day from Anthony Joshua winning world title studying Anthony Joshua. He's had years to study Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua had 5 weeks to study Ruiz and thought, you know what? Soft touch, not bad. Because he didn't box
Yeah.
like he boxed.
No, I agree.
So Anthony Joshua turns up and boxes like he boxes.
He was complacent.
Boxes
Agree. We
now
all
like
agree
a
on
hungry
that.
fighter again, on the jab, tone, moving, using the
We
jab.
all agree he
using
was
smart.
complacent, but the reason he
gets
lost
it.
the fight was he
Because
wasn't good
bo-
enough on the night.
No, because he wasn't boxing. He wasn't boxing at his best on
Yeah,
it.
and he didn't stick to his game plan.
Yeah, he didn't. And now
If
he's
you-
had to.
when he
actually
had
learn.
him hurt, when he came back from the knockdown and they got into that exchange, he hit him with some nice shots, but he didn't see those 11 punch combinations that got
didn't
hit on the head.
expect them. He didn't even expect them.
He didn't expect it.
Yeah.
And so now he will.
But
so
what-
now
but-
he's going to fight tall. I mean, he
But
should.
what Joshua should have looked at,
Yeah.
which was quite an obvious one, and we saw that with Ruiz against Parker, is that every time Ruiz is under pressure, he comes back offensively with 4 or 5 shots. Now
Look at it
Joshua
now.
has to be careful he don't go back in that straight line with his back straight and gets caught with a counter
look
punch.
at it now.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But he
You
would have had time
looked
to
at
look
me
People don't know
when
what you're talking
Joshua
about.
fought
Out of here.
Dillian White. No, stay here.
Stay here.
When Joshua fought Dillian White
Yeah.
all those years ago and he had the trouble in the second round, you looked at me and said, "Don't be doing that."
Yeah.
And that's exactly what he did against Andy Ruiz. So that's something they're going to have to address.
Yeah, absolutely.
No?
things. That's what I'm saying. If he'd gone in there and boxed to the best of his ability and got turned
1,000%
I'd
strong.
have said he is never going to beat him again. But I'm telling you now, he can make the adjustments and be 1,000% on point to say he will do it.
So you're 1,000%. So how does he do it? How does he do it?
Boxing boring. But he's got a boxing boring.
Goes the distance?
I'm king of boring.
He goes the distance?
Goes the distance. Boxing boring.
Well,
He's
it's
got better
probably the
feet,
right
boxing
tactics.
Moves, jabs, uses strong. I would opt to boxing boring. And if Ruiz walks on someone, let him take it.
I understand that.
Boxing.
I understand what you're saying, and that's how he can win the fight. But I do not agree with you that you could even be 100% sure that he will definitely win the fight, having been so poor at the Garden.
All right, no problem.
In his next fight.
In his next
In
fight.
his next
And I think
fight.
that's a big point, Kugan. You know, it's the immediate rematch. A lot of people are saying, should he have another fight? Look at Lennox Lewis after the McCall fight. He took 2.5 years to rebuild under
it
Emmanuel
shows-
Stewart. Look at Vladimir Klitschko. He was knocked down 11 times first part of his career. What did Emmanuel Stewart do? He made sure that he wasn't knocked down for another 10 years
But
until
what I'm
Joshua
saying,
did
taking the
it.
fight
So what
straight
he
away,
did
it
was they
shows,
rebuilt
you know
them.
what, I messed up there.
And
I
Joshua
can fix
does
that.
need, we all agreed that he needs to box sensibly using his physical attributes and behind his jab. So therefore, have they got time between now and when the fight happens November, December to get that right?
And also, you know, as an ex-fighter, and I know that if certain situations have happened in a fight and you're taking the immediate rematch, doesn't matter what was going on in Joshua's camp beforehand, what was going on during the fight. You know, on the ring walk, as you come in the ring walk, as soon as them lights come out on you, you got those demons to deal with. You know, it's not like it's just going to go, well,
Yeah, but
this was the problem
at that
before.
level, you got to compartmentalize.
that's
You got
what
to
I'm
have
saying.
it. You got to have it there. He's done it.
But what I'm saying is,
he's done it at Wembley.
There's a
He's
lot
done
of
it.
pressure
He's done
on
it.
his shoulders, is what I'm saying.
Matt
A
Macklin
lot
was
of pressure.
what are you
commentating
doing?
at ringside, okay? And then let me just tell you the last
Go on.
5-10 minutes. Johnny Nelson says he's 1,000% sure that AJ not just can, but will win the rematch.
Not 100, not 100%,
sure that AJ will
1,000%.
win the rematch.
I'm not that sure. I think he will win the rematch, but I think the rematch is harder than the first fight should have been because of the psychological damage, the potential demons now.
Yeah, that's the point.
Because of the
He's got a good
confidence
point
that
now.
Ruiz will have now. Ruiz obviously believed he could win last time. Now he knows he can win. Now he knows he's got
When
the
you
power.
fight with a tinge of fear in your fight and confidence, makes you a better round.
Did you have psychological demons after you
Johnny's
fought
going to
De
do an
Leon?
interview.
How long did
If
it
he
take
doesn't
to win a world title?
In his budgie smugglers.
10 years.
10 years.
Yeah, but
10
10
years.
years.
Hold on!
He's got to win it back in his next fight.
But my point was.
Adam's holding court here very well, I have to say.
But my point was this: if he has taken this in his next fight,
Adam just stirring the pot.
Love
Just
it.
he knows. You know what? I did wrong there. I can adjust that. I was a boy in a man's body when that happened. Anthony Joshua thinks, you know what? I took him lightly. I shouldn't have done that again. You won't do that again.
I agree that he took him lightly, and I agree he won't take him lightly this
You
time.
know,
I think
But
he's
there
going
are
to.
other-
He'll probably win the fight.
There are other
100%, 1,000%.
factors
I'm not
this
having that.
time. So Joshua will be better, but I think Ruiz will be better as well because now Ruiz has got that belief and that confidence of a world champion. He's already knocked him out. He knows he can do
agree.
it again.
I
So when
totally
it's getting hard in there, he'll stay in there that little bit longer where maybe before. Do you know what I mean? It's going to be a difficult fight. The
Back to
rematch.
my point, though, the same with the Nets with Jeremy Lin. The next time that we played the Knicks, we shut him down.
Boom.
We birthed them.
I'm on this
we
man's
we
It's a different
birthed
sport,
them.
Johnny.
Hold up, we birthed them and we killed them. No, but it's
I
a
know
different
what you're
sport,
saying,
but it
I'm
doesn't matter. The scouting is there, and so I do believe 100% he can win. Now, will he? I don't know. Only he knows that. I think that also, like I said, his wind is a big thing. He's got to be in condition. He's got to be able to go the distance. You know, he's got to be able to go the distance.
anyone else we want to rope into this? I think we're starting with you, Johnny.
Archie Spilker's just turned up. Listen, he looks very. Look at him. I'm smiling. He looks the part.
Spilker looks the part.
He looks like the promoter. He knows he's fighting, don't he?
Who was that guy?
He knows he's fighting,
Who's
don't he?
who was the guy who used to promote Costa Sue, Vlad?
Oh, yeah.
Right, well, Johnny Nelson, this was your interview now. It's been
Hijacked.
Just
Now,
remember
you
this
brought
day.
me in,
No,
and I brought
yeah.
my friends in.
remember this
My
day.
friends who know what they're
we
talking
want
about.
what you're saying to be right. Let's just
Yeah,
put it right. We
100%
want
right.
it to be right.
But we're breaking down what it really
We're
is
just
and
not
what's...
being, you know what I mean?
He knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, but he
I
didn't.
don't. Nick's
Yes.
some breakdown. I don't know what you said that American term, but
Joshua
I'm with him.
will win the rematch.
Yeah, but ultimately,
No, we're all saying that.
We
We
all
all
think he'll
that.
probably win it, but
I
you
think
can't be.
But Matt, the point of this argument
But there
was...
are a lot of
Johnny
questions.
said...
Ruiz
Johnny
can win
said
it.
the
Ruiz
point,
can win it,
the
definitely.
point of the argument was Johnny said 1,000% Anthony Joshua wins the fight. We went, whoa, that's a strong call. We think he wins, but 1,000%... Come on, Nelson, what are you going on about? Go.
All right. Okay.
I'm not as confident of him winning the rematch as I was of him winning the first fight. He didn't win the first
Listen,
fight.
1,000%.
Matt and I were sitting at ringside for the fight. Johnny was quite a way back. Maybe
All
we'll
right.
bring you front row this time.
Who thinks 1,000% Anthony Joshua wins his next fight? Anybody?
1,000%.
1,000? Anybody?
It's absolutely not.
He said it. The little fella.
Who's he
Oh my
fighting?
God.
Hold on, can we bring this to this? I mean, Oscar Rivas beat Ruiz in the amateurs.
Yep.
He beat Pulev in the amateurs.
Oh, I'm
so
with this
it's
man.
coming to this
even know what you're talking about, Johnny.
to Saturday night.
This is a very tough fight.
This is a tough fight for
This is
Dillian
a very
White.
tough
Yeah.
It's a great fight for Dillian White, and I'm calling this fight an album card because it's like that great album when you buy that album and it's like, oh man, you sit there and you read the liner notes and you listen to each track and you. That's what this is.
Breaking it down
That's,
beautifully. love this,
man.
that's what it is. You know, all these fights, the Southern area fight. Come on, that's awesome.
All right.
Pricey
All right.
and Allen.
like
You
it.
can't pay me not to watch that
Back
fight.
to you make a good point about.
I'm watching this
Say
fight,
KUGAN.
man.
David makes a good point about Oscar Rivas' amateur pedigree, that he beat Andy Ruiz, that he beat Kubrat Pulev, and that's one thing we definitely didn't take into account with Andy Ruiz about how long he'd been fighting. The fact Joshua, basically started as an amateur late, Ruiz since he was a kid, Rivas since he was a kid, Dillian White not since he was a kid. Dillian much more professional experience, much higher level, but Oscar Rivas is a very, very hard fight for him.
Dylan has the benefit of hindsight. Seeing what happened to Anthony Joshua, seeing Anthony Joshua underestimated Ruiz. Now he knows what to do.
Oh my God.
Now he knows what to expect.
Everyone go and Google Jeremy Lin. Yeah.
Right. Google.
All right. Adam, Matt,
Check it out.
Spencer,
Jamie
Johnny,
Lin.
David,
Jamie
thank
Lin.
you very much.
Jamie Lin.
And Jeremy
I
Lin.
knew
was
you were
Googling.
Jeremy. I knew I was just playing. I knew you were Jeremy Lin.
You didn't know anything. You didn't know Rory McIlroy was.
You don't know sports stars in Sheffield, let alone anywhere else.